Hello, welcome to this homework help video. This is Daniel speaking, and today I will be showing you how to use bar graphs to solve problems. I will be solving a total of 3 problems in today's video. Let's get started. Problem 1. A zoology magazine reported on the cost of admission to different zoos. How much would it cost in all to visit the North Carolina Zoo and the Memphis Zoo? So it is asking us for the cost in all, meaning the total cost. And in order to find the total cost, we need to find the sum of the two costs of admission for the zoos, for both of these zoos, the North Carolina Zoo and the Memphis Zoo. So now what we're going to do is locate each zoo name on this bar graph. So first, we have the North Carolina Zoo here, along with its bar. And then above this is the Memphis Zoo and the bar for the Memphis Zoo. The first thing I'm going to do is start from this axis. Okay, I'm going to start here at position 0, and I will be tracing a line all the way to the right until I reach the end of the bar, which I have just done. Now that I've reached the point where this bar ends, I am going to draw a vertical line downwards all the way to the axis so that I can get the cost of admission. And what I get is that the cost of admission for the North Carolina Zoo is $15. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the Memphis Zoo now. I'm going to trace a horizontal line all the way to the right until I reach the end of the bar. I have reached the end of the bar, and now I will trace a vertical line going down to the axis so I can get its corresponding number. And so the cost of admission for the Memphis Zoo is $20. Yay! Now that we have the two costs of admission that we need, we can calculate the total cost. How much it would cost in all to visit the North Carolina Zoo and the Memphis Zoo. So what we're going to do is add up these two numbers. I am going to add together the cost of admission for the North Carolina Zoo, which is $15, and then add the cost of admission for the Memphis Zoo, which is $20. 15 plus 20 is equal to 35. So we have just received our answer. How much would it cost in all to visit the North Carolina Zoo and the Memphis Zoo? It would cost $35. Okay, moving on to problem 2. A real estate agent looked into how many houses were sold in different cities this week. In all, how many houses were sold in Parville and Charles Falls? Okay, so another how many of this in total now. In all, how many houses were sold? So I'm just going to employ the same approach as I did for problem 1 by locating these two city names on the graph. I found the bar for Parville, and I located the bar for Charles Falls. In order to find the number of houses sold in Parville, I'm going to start at the 0 position. I'm going to start from this axis and then trace my line all the way to the right until I get to the end of the bar. Okay, the end is here. And now that I've reached the end of the bar, I am going to trace another line downwards to this horizontal axis. And what this gives me is that the number of houses sold in Parville is 30. Now I'm going to do the same thing for Charles Falls. I'm going to start at this vertical axis from the 0 position. And I'm going to trace a horizontal line all the way to the right until I get to the end of the bar. And now that I've reached the end of the bar, I'm going to trace a vertical line downwards until I reach this horizontal axis. Okay, I have just reached a number, and what this gives me is that 20 houses were sold in Charles Falls. This question right here, it is asking us for how many houses were sold in all, the total number of houses sold, the sum of these two numbers. So we're going to add them up. 30 houses sold in Parville plus the 20 houses sold in Charles Falls is equal to 50. 50 houses. So to answer this question, 50 houses were sold in Parville and Charles Falls in all. And now we have reached the final problem, problem 3. An author kept a log of how many pages he wrote in the past 4 days. How many more pages did the author write on Wednesday than on Tuesday? So it seems to be asking us for something different. Unlike the previous two problems, where it asked us for the total number of something, it asked us for the cost in all, where it asked us for how many houses were sold in all. Now it's asking us to compare, like, how many more pages were written on this day than the other day. And that is also a problem that is simple enough to solve. So what we're going to do is locate the 2 days on the graph. Here is the bar for Wednesday, this green bar right here, and then the bar for Tuesday is to the left of it. The purple bar is Tuesday. The procedure is going to be the same, even though now that these colored bars are standing tall, now they are vertical, as opposed to when these colored bars were horizontal before. We can still use the same method of finding the number. So what I'm going to do is start, as I've done, from position 0. I'm starting from this axis, and then I am drawing a line upwards until I reach the end of the bar. Or in this case, since the bar is vertical now, until I reach the top of the bar. Now that I've reached the top of this green bar, I am going to trace a horizontal line all the way to the left towards the axis, this vertical axis, until I reach the number that it corresponds to. And so in this case, the number of pages that the author wrote on Wednesday is 70. He wrote 70 pages on Wednesday. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the Tuesday bar. I'm going to start from the bottom here, this bottom horizontal axis, from position 0, and trace a vertical line upwards until I reach the top of this bar. And this is where it stops. This is the top of the bar. And what I'm going to do is trace a horizontal line all the way to the left in order to reach the vertical axis. And so what I get is that the author wrote 60 pages on Tuesday. The question, how many more pages? When it's asking us for how many more of this did the person do on this one day than the other day, we need to find the difference in the numbers, the difference between the numbers. So we need to subtract. We need to subtract the number of pages written on Wednesday. Okay. What I mean to say is, we need to subtract the number of pages written on Tuesday from the number of pages written on Wednesday, since the number of pages written on Wednesday is larger than the number of pages written on Tuesday. So it's going to be 70 minus 60. 70 pages minus 60 pages. I get 10. So to answer this question, the author wrote 10 more pages on Wednesday than on Tuesday. And we have just received our final answer. I hope you found this video really helpful for you and that you will be able to use the knowledge you've gained from watching this video into future homework assignments. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.